COVID, the idol of fear, analogized according to Daniel chapter 3. In the book of Daniel chapter 3, King Nebuchadnezzar was the king over all the provinces of Babylon. He created an image of gold, a very tall and broad statue, an idol. He set it up in the province of Babylon. Just as Nebuchadnezzar set up an idol to be worshipped, even so the president, prime ministers, queen, world leaders also set up an idol called COVID-19, which was the image of fear. King Nebuchadnezzar gathered together the princes, the governors, captains, judges, treasurers, counselors, sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces of Babylon to come and worship the image, the idol which he made. Likewise, the President of the United States, world leaders, prime ministers, gathered together government officials, departments of health officers, mayors, sheriffs, government agencies like the WHO, the World Health Organization, the CDC, Center for Disease Control, the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, the NIH, National Institute of Health, the NIAID, National Institute for Allergies and Infectious Diseases, city councils, school boards, county officials. They were all called, they were summoned to see this new idol called COVID-19. A herald was sent to sound to all people, nations, and languages to let them know what was commanded. Likewise, the media, as a heralder, cried, "It is mandated." Peoples, nations, and languages. The media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Fox News, CNN, CBS, NBC, ABC, news radio stations, billboards, highway signs, all heralding the requirement to all people about the image of COVID-19. The heralders said, "When you hear the sound of the music, the cornet, the flute, the harp, the psaltery, the sackbut, the dulcimer, and other kinds of music, you must fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king set up." Likewise, the president, world leaders, prime ministers all said, "When you hear the mandates, you must comply, soul, body, and spirit. Lockdown, quarantine, wear your mask, do the test, social distance, take the shot. You cannot go to church, you cannot sing, and you cannot worship." By order of the king, whoever failed to fall down and worship the golden idol that King Nebuchadnezzar had set up would be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Likewise, the president, prime ministers, world leaders, they also said, if you refuse to submit, you will lose your job, you'll lose your income, you'll lose your business, your families, you would be denied health care. We will virtue shame you, and then we will attack you. We will imprison you. We will cause your life to be miserable, and we will take everything away from you if you do not submit and become a worshiper at the altar of COVID-19. And the three Hebrew boys, because they refused to bow down, they were cast into the fiery furnace with all that they had, their coat, their socks, their hats, and any other garments. All that they had was cast into the fiery furnace. Likewise, COVID-19, those who refuse to get the shot, those who refuse to comply with the mandates, they also went into a fiery furnace. They lost family, they lost friends, they lost jobs. Some churches even shut down. There were many who lost everything. They lost their lives because they refused to become part of the COVID cult. But, as we know in the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, God showed up in the fiery furnace and delivered them. Those who stood strong, the churches who refused to close, those who were under threat of fines, those who were under threat of imprisonment, they stood strong, and God showed up in the fire with them, and He delivered them, and He saved them out of the hand of a government that set up idols and commanded the whole world to bow and worship at the altar of fear. Know this, know this, my beloved, God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. This is the voice of understanding, understanding the times.